circular reasoning. It's called begging the question, right? Let me give it to you. A lot of times, the circular reasoning or begging the question, it's an argument that assumes that in the premise, effectively arguing is a circle. In other words, I argue what you argue what I argue, and we keep arguing, and it's going to simply go round and round with no inevitable conclusion. And that's not true. It's simply not true. So on the world side, we would say this, okay? First, let's identify the topic, okay? Or the circle logic that we're going around because you believe, I don't believe, you believe, you don't believe, okay? So if somebody says, I'm trustworthy because I always tell the truth. Here's one that's really good, okay? I'm trustworthy because I always tell the truth, okay? You, as a saint of God, can point out you're assuming what you're trying to prove. What do you mean by that? Well, you're assuming that you're trustworthy, okay, because you always tell the truth. But that doesn't have to be so, okay? And then you say, can you provide or prove something specific of your trustworthiness? Because if there's no examples, there's no trustworthiness. And you're not always honest, okay? You're not always trustworthy. But when somebody says that, oftentimes they say it in conversation in the midst of not an ad hominem, right? But they say it in the midst of a potential add to ignorance, okay? And they use it as one of the fallacies. But that's if they're really good in their conversation. Otherwise, they'll just be saying it because they really truly believe this fallacy. And so if you circle them with that question, you'll find out that they don't really stand there once it's found out. And I use this in the body of Christ also simply because many people say, listen, I'm down and out because I'm a sinner. Well, you can easily prove an individual's a sinner, okay? But if they're living out in the street and they're homeless, okay, and they're trying to get a meal or whatever, and they've stolen for their meal, those stealing, okay, is still considered a sin because you're taking the property of another person, okay? You can turn around and you can say, hey, listen, well, God sees you and he knows your heart.